Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 8, Lesson 61, and it's the last lesson of the unit. Today we're chasing down two mistakes that can turn a serious sentence into something accidentally hilarious: misplaced modifiers and dangling modifiers. Both come from the same slip. A describing phrase ends up too far from the word it's supposed to describe. By the end, you'll spot them instantly and know exactly how to fix each one. Let's dig in. Let's start with the idea that holds this whole lesson together. A modifier is a word or phrase that describes another word in the sentence. And here's the golden rule. You put a modifier as close as possible to the word it describes. Look at this. The cat on the warm windowsill purred. The phrase "on the warm windowsill" sits right beside cat, so we know exactly which cat we mean. But let a modifier drift too far from its word, and the meaning starts to slip, sometimes in ways that are downright funny. That drifting is what today's two troublemakers are all about. Meet the first troublemaker, the misplaced modifier. A misplaced modifier sits right next to the wrong word, so it seems to describe something it was never meant to. Listen. Dripping with syrup, Leo ate the pancakes. Now, is Leo dripping with syrup? That's the accidental joke. The phrase is parked next to Leo, but the syrup belongs to the pancakes. The fix is easy. We move the phrase beside the word it really means. Leo ate the pancakes dripping with syrup. Now it clearly describes the pancakes, right where it belongs. Here's the whole cure for a misplaced modifier in one word. Move it. Take this sentence. She served cake to the kids covered in frosting. The way it's written, the kids are covered in frosting, a sticky picture. But of course, it's the cake that's covered in frosting. So we slide the phrase next to cake, the word it describes. She served cake covered in frosting to the kids. Same words, just reordered, and now the meaning is exactly what we intended. Whenever a modifier lands on the wrong word, don't rewrite the whole sentence. Just move the modifier. Now the second troublemaker, and it's sneakier. The dangling modifier. A dangling modifier describes no word that's actually in the sentence. The word it should attach to is missing. Listen. While walking to school, the rain began to fall. Ask yourself who was walking. Certainly not the rain. The walker, the person the phrase is really about, never shows up in the sentence at all. So the word it should describe isn't there, and the modifier is left dangling, with nothing to hold on to. That's the difference. A misplaced modifier grabs the wrong word, but a dangling modifier finds no word there to grab. So how do we rescue a dangling modifier? We can't just move it because there's no right word to move it next to. Instead, we have to supply the missing doer. Go back to our sentence. While walking to school, the rain began to fall. Ask the key question. Who was walking? A person. Let's say me. So we add that doer right after the phrase. While walking to school, I felt the rain fall. Now the phrase finally has someone to describe. I, the one who is walking, and the whole sentence makes sense. Let's turn all of that into a quick 3-step check. Step 1. Find the modifying phrase. It's very often sitting right at the front of the sentence. Step 2. Ask the magic question. Who or what is doing this? Step 3. Make sure that word sits right beside the phrase. And here's the key. If you ask who's doing it and nobody in the sentence answers, then the doer is missing, so add it in. Master those 3 steps, and misplaced and dangling modifiers won't slip past you again. Let's practice. Let's practice. In this first set, each sentence has a modifier problem, and your job is to name it. Is it a misplaced modifier, where the right word is in the sentence, but the phrase sits by the wrong one? Or a dangling modifier, where the word it should describe isn't there at all? Pause the video and decide before I reveal the answer. Buzzing around the picnic, we swatted the wasps. Who's buzzing? The way it reads, we are, but the wasps are the buzzers. And notice, wasps is right there in the sentence, just too far away. The word simply landed in the wrong spot. So this is a misplaced modifier. After finishing dinner, the dishes were washed quickly. Who finished dinner? Surely not the dishes. And there's no person anywhere in the sentence to do the finishing. The doer is missing entirely, so this one is a dangling modifier. The teacher handed a book to the student with a torn cover. Does the student have a torn cover? No, the book does. And the word book is right there in the sentence, just too far from its phrase. That makes this a misplaced modifier. Nice work. In this second set, each sentence has a modifier that's gone wrong, and I'll offer you 2 revisions. Choose the one that truly fixes it, either by moving the phrase next to the right word or by supplying the doer that was missing. Pause and try each before I answer. Wagging its tail, I greeted the happy dog. As written, I'm the one wagging a tail. The dog is in the sentence, so this is misplaced. We just need to move the phrase next to dog. The second option leaves the phrase up front, still describing me. The first option puts wagging its tail right after dog, exactly where it belongs. So the answer is the first option. To bake the bread, the oven must be hot. Who's baking the bread? Not the oven, and no baker appears. So this is a dangling modifier. The second option still gives us no one doing the baking. The first option supplies a doer, you, who can actually bake the bread. So the answer is the first option. Hiking up the trail, a bear appeared in front of us. Picture that literally, a hiking bear. Nobody in the sentence is doing the hiking, so it's dangling. The second option just adds the word suddenly and leaves the bear hiking. The first option brings in we, the real hikers, right after the phrase. So the answer here is the first option. Let's gather up what we learned. The whole lesson rests on one habit. Place a modifier as close as possible to the word it describes. When a modifier sits next to the wrong word, it's misplaced, and you fix it simply by moving it beside the word it really means. When a modifier describes no word that's even in the sentence, it's dangling, and you fix that by supplying the missing doer, the person or thing the phrase is truly about. Ask who or what is doing the action, and keep that word close. That wraps up Unit 8. Really nicely done. I'll see you in the next unit.